Good morning, everyone. Getting ready to leave the hostel here, doing these last couple uphills and downhills for the roller coaster, and then heading off to where I'll be camping tonight before doing the 4-state challenge right now. There's 5 of us here in the hostel. Nice place that the AT puts on. Really nice deal, $40 for pizza, Ben & Jerry's, laundry, bunk, shower. Real comfortable place. This is DoorDash here. Heard me talk about him. Nice guy. Dozers around here somewhere too. A couple section hikers in the back. The only problem is they have one restroom, and there's 5 of us all wanting to have our business meetings at the same time. We only have one restroom to do that in, so sometimes that happens when you have to wait on schedules for everybody else to kind of coincide before you can move on. But we're all kind of ready to get back out there now, and it looks like it's kind of cloudy out, but should be a great day, like 60 degrees, so let's get it going. The roller coaster says, "Good morning, Fortune. Welcome back. Did you have a nice rest? Here's some rocks." It's not too bad. Just a little climbing up some rocks, but no scrambling or anything, so that's a good thing. And I like these big rocks. And there's part of it has or certain parts of it where the rocky section is, there's parts of the trail in between the rocks, so you can walk on that. There are some parts of this, though, that have those, what they call fins, I guess. I just heard that word a couple days ago for the first time, which is weird because you would think I would have heard that before with all the rocks that I've climbed in Yosemite and the Sierra and last year in the PCT and so far this year. Not to mention all the other trails I do that have rocks on it, but I've actually never heard that term before. So the fins are like this, big sharp ones that stick up that, your foot gets wedged between that and another rock or punctures through your shoe and just jabs you or whatever. Those are the painful ones. These aren't too bad right now, but I gripe about rocks on here, but obviously I take whatever the trail gives me. I would prefer less rocks or certain kinds of rocks, but I take whatever it gives me, It's what the trail's all about, is pushing you and making you work and do things that you might not want to do to get the reward in the end, or the small rewards of the small battles on the way. So as you can see, we're going down right now, and then it's going to go back up. Looked like maybe 3 times. I thought it was 2, but when I looked at the map this morning, it looks like maybe 3 times. But it's only like 1,400 feet in the next 4 miles. And then that is the north boundary of the roller coaster, and the roller coaster will be done. And then I got about 13 or 14 miles after that to where I'm going to set up camp tonight at the border, getting ready for the 4-state challenge tomorrow. I think I'm saying that right. 4-state, yeah. Sorry, as I was talking, my sunglasses fell off my head down on my face, and I couldn't see anything. And for some reason, that must have been connected directly to my brain because I couldn't think about what I was saying. But yes, I'm going to go to where I'm going to camp tonight to begin the 4-state challenge at about 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So that's the plan today. Going to be a little gas station cut off today that I could go to and kind of build up my snacks again, because that's pretty much all I'm going to eat tomorrow, I think, while I'm hiking, is snacks, so I can eat them while I'm hiking and not have to stop and cook or anything like that until I'm done. So that's the plan. I'm really excited to attempt this. I don't know if I'll make it, and I'm going to be smart with my body if it feels like I might be injuring something or hurting something. The long-term goal is obviously to conquer the Appalachian Trail. The 4-state challenge is a goal that I would love to conquer. And if you know anything about me, it's not easy for me to quit something. So I will give it my best shot for sure. But if something like in my feet or whatnot is feeling like it might be getting injured or pushing too much, then I'll stop. It's that simple. Play it by ear, step by step. But I am sure hoping to be able to conquer that. I'm going to have fun trying tomorrow. So for those of you new that don't know what I'm doing, about 3 or so in the morning, I will be leaving the West Virginia state line and hiking through the portion of West Virginia on the Appalachian Trail, and then hiking through the state of Maryland on the trail, and then ending up at the Pennsylvania-Maryland line, known as the 4-state challenge. You're touching 4 states in 44 plus miles. Now, I say 44 miles, but that is the actual mileage of the trail. I will have other mileage, I'm sure, added onto that with side trails to water and everything else. I will not be going to side trails on mountains or any waterfalls or anything like that. This will be a day of just trying to get to the 4 states. But unfortunately, when you get in water, a lot of times it's, quarter to a half mile off trail. So depends where the water is and so forth. But that is the plan. Very excited about that. But before that, we got today to conquer. So a couple more hills here on the roller coaster. And man, my glasses will not stay up on top of my head for some reason. They keep falling down. Maybe I should just wear them. But yeah, got to finish up the roller coaster here. And then, a few more miles after that. And then set up camp for the night. All right, it's going to be a beautiful day. Let's do it. Well, that wasn't very fun. Busy time of day for that road, apparently. I don't know, maybe it's busy like that all the time, but man, those cars were flying. And you go up a little ways, where I was just showing you on the video clip, and then a little bit after that, you have to cross over. Woo! I jogged. Once I seen an opening, I jogged, but there's a curve right there, so you can't really see the cars coming too well. It probably could have a little better way of doing that, I would think, but whatever, I made it. Found a good little gap. And I think there's a road later, like where I go to that gas station, that if I get there at a certain time, rush hour traffic could be kind of rough too, but we'll be safe. Right now I'm back on the nice smooth trail with rocks. So I will take that over 60 mile per hour cars any day. Because I don't go 60 miles an hour. I go 3 miles an hour tops. All right. Back to nature and getting away from that road and the peace and quiet of the birds chirping and the beautiful roller coaster. So let's talk about business meetings. It's been a minute. You want to talk about awkward? This business meeting was awkward. Sometimes when you are walking on a trail, it is very slanted going up and down, and there's not a whole lot of trees or space to hide behind or get away from the possible oncomers or hikers, or just people going for a nice stroll down the trail of the roller coaster. So I'm walking along, and all of a sudden I get the call that it's time for a business meeting. So I go and attend the business meeting promptly. There's a big old rock, and then I go, it's like, I'll just go behind that rock to have my business meeting. And then there's a big tree behind the rock. Like, well, I'll go behind the tree. That's double protection. Privacy for the big business meeting. And, oh my goodness. It's hard to even tell the story. I'm laughing so hard. I go have my business meeting. And then I realize I'm quite visible by the trail. I was way off the trail, don't get me wrong. But I was quite visible. I thought this tree and rock was hiding me, but it was only hiding me from like one direction, apparently. And then 2 hikers walk by. Oh my God. One keeps going, just doesn't say a word. Thank goodness, that's what you should do. The other one decided they wanted to invite themselves to the business meeting. I mean, they didn't come over or anything, thank goodness, but here I am, bare butt in the air. And I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, good. Enjoying your hike? Yep, it's a beautiful day. And they kept going, so that's good. But you talk about awkward. You are there having your business meeting, and somebody's trying to have a full conversation with you. I thought I would share that with you, because that's a first for me. But it's also awkward in a public restroom when somebody does that when you're on a toilet too. Like, hey, how's it going in there? Oh my goodness. It's kind of funny, but kind of awkward. And I'm so glad that nobody came over to say hi to me or give me a high five or anything. All right, business meeting is over. Let's get back to climbing. Rock was a little loose. Sure is beautiful with that sun coming through the trees. Bright greens and sunbeams coming through. Sometimes when you're facing right into it, though, it kind of blinds you. I don't need another reason to trip on rocks or roots. But sometimes those shadows makes it happen. So as exciting as that may look, it is kind of like a false summit on a mountain, because it is not the end of Virginia. What happens here is it crosses over into West Virginia for the next couple of miles, and then it crosses back into Virginia, and then continues on kind of on the border for, I don't know, 10 to 14 miles. I'm not sure exactly right now because I haven't looked at the map here in a few miles, so I'm not sure exactly how far I've gone yet. But it should be probably 12 miles. Kind of calculate it in my head there, and it's about 12 miles that it will continue on. Well, actually 2 miles in West Virginia, then about another 10 miles after that. Should be kind of bouncing back and forth in the borders. And then the last spot it crosses into Virginia is the spot where I'll be camping tonight, obviously, because I'm starting the 4-state challenge there. So that will be touching the border of Virginia and West Virginia right before it crosses into West Virginia and continues for a few miles before going into Maryland, and then Maryland for 40 plus miles to the border of Pennsylvania. So that's kind of the way it's broken down, but it's kind of deceiving, making you think Virginia's over right there, but it's not, because you continue on in West Virginia, then it comes back to Virginia again. So you will see where I start, where the end of Virginia is. Maybe tonight when I camp, or at least in the morning when I start off. Cannot wait. Here's a view off some cliffs, a little opening. Not a big drop into the valley, but you could definitely see a little bit of the valley here, not like you would from the higher up mountains. Basically, that's the area that I came from, and you can see the valley over there. You can see the mountains in the distance over there. But it's still beautiful, even though it's not a big drop off into the valley. All those beautiful greens and everything. Definitely getting to the flatter, more non-mountainous areas, just the rolling hills, and I'm sure it'll get flatter as I go north, up until at least, North Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, all those areas start getting a little hillier, but for now it's going to be kind of flat like this for a while. Still beautiful though. Here is the north end boundary of the roller coaster. Not quite as dramatic of a sign as the south end. Just a piece of paper taped to some pieces of wood. But the roller coaster is in the bag. So let's talk about the roller coaster and my little mini review. So the weather was pretty good yesterday and today, both 60s, 50s, and 60s throughout the ride yesterday, and then the short ride this morning was probably a little cooler, like 45, 50. Might have got up to 55 by the end. I didn't find it to be that difficult at all. Just very, very similar to what has been going on in the AT, except not as extreme as like Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. Very similar to what's been going on in Virginia. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It was pretty much consistent with 400 to 500 up and then 400 to 500 down on most of those hills. It was either 10 or 11 hills. About halfway through it though, I'd say 2/3 to half of it was very rocky. So if you don't like rocks, you're not going to like it. It was fun rocks for a while. The kind that you can kind of maneuver around and step over or step on. So it's, giving your legs more of a workout, but, not too annoying on the feet or ankles. But it definitely turned on the last few of yesterday and then the couple of this morning. It kind of turned to where it was those annoying kind of rocks where they hurt to step on because they're pointed, or they roll on you, or, it just slows you down is the main annoyance, and it hurts the feet. But that being said, if you don't like climbing mountains, and if you don't like descending mountains, and if you don't like rocks, you probably won't like it. But the rest of it you'll love. Okay, joking aside, I love it because, I live for this stuff to climb. And then you get that break and you get to go down, then you get to climb again. Not much of a break, just up, down, up, down. No flat spots. I mean, there are some flat spots, but not much. And of course you come out of it and it's much flatter. I think in the next 8 miles, it's only 800 feet of elevation. So definitely more spread out. There's still rocks, so it's not like the rocks have went away. And from my understanding, there's going to be all kinds of rocks tomorrow in Maryland when I attempt this 4-state challenge. So I'm going to be ready as ready can be. But all in all, I thought the roller coaster was a really fun time for those 14 or 15 miles that it lasted. But it was really just a lot of the same. Maybe a little more intense on the uphills and downhills. Definitely more rocks than, a good portion of Virginia. But Virginia does have rocks. Don't get me wrong, it has rocks. It's just, there for like half of that 15 miles, it was quite rocky and fun part of it, annoying the other part. But there you go. There's my review of the roller coaster. It was a great ride. I kept my seatbelt on at all times, meaning my backpack straps, and it was fun. But I don't have to do it again because it's in the bag. Got a few miles to go, and I'm going to go to that gas station and fill up the bear can with the essentials for tonight and tomorrow. But just a lot of, I don't even want to say a lot, just a few more miles today. Maybe 10, I don't know. Maybe 10 miles. And then I'll be setting up camp and getting my rest to take on a challenge that is going to be tough. I tell you that right now, it's going to be tough. But I'm hopefully up for it. And I know y'all cheered me on, and I appreciate that. So that's for tomorrow. Now, let's see what today's going to bring. Making some really good time right now, and this might be why. The trail is pretty flat, but there are quite a few rocks, so still not going at the pace I would like to, but definitely going at a good pace right now. Pretty flat through this area, but beautiful and green and dark tree trunks and bark. Just beautiful sights. And over here you got the grayish brown instead of the dark brown. Yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. I love what spring is looking like. Here's a couple of really beautiful trees and flowers. You got that one, and over here, these flowers are so stinking cool. Wow, beautiful. Walking along this highway, walking to a gas station that serves some warm food and some resupply food. Heard rumor that they have a really good burger here too, so it's a pretty busy road, but it's only 3/10 of a mile on the side. I don't think I have to even cross right here. Getting back on the trail I'll have to cross because it crosses over this road. But right now, just walking to this gas station up here and getting me some food to prepare for tomorrow and have tomorrow for the calories that I need. But for right now, to try to get the calories in me right now too. Some flavored drinks, maybe some Gatorade. Oh yeah, Fortune loves his food. So I'm finally back on trail. Stopped at the gas station, got a cheeseburger and some fries. Then I got my donuts and crackers and chocolate honey buns and chips. And for resupply, but the other stuff I ate there, the cheeseburger and fries, and I got a Mountain Dew and a Gatorade. Then after I was done with that, I went back in and got ham and cheese and a chili. That was their special of the day. It's like, I have to have the special, right? No matter how much other food I gotta have the special. So I packed myself up with food for tomorrow, so I eat a lot of snacks as I'm doing the 4-day challenge. That road was something else coming back, man. I'm telling you. You almost just want to take your trekking pole and hit every freaking car as it goes by. Because they're driving like animals out there, 60 and 70 miles an hour on a little 2-lane freaking road. A little salty. I mean, I had a shoulder and plenty of it, but it's like they don't even slow down when they see people walking on the side of the road. I mean, whatever. Humans. What can I say? So before I went to the gas station, I was having a rough couple hours, man. Just really stinking homesick. I mean, well, to kind of back up, I feel much better now that I ate. I wasn't, had some pancakes this morning and some snacks along the way, but I was kind of saving, you know, the real calories for getting there to the gas station because I knew they had some food. So I definitely feel better now. Getting that Gatorade and Mountain Dew in me, plus the water. Definitely feel good and hydrated and good calories for now. But yeah, a couple hours before that, I was having a rough time, man. I'm telling you, sometimes the homesickness is too much to bear. And it's funny because I've never had to deal with it before. On a thru-hike or a big adventure, you know. I mean, obviously I've been in relationships in my life and I used to travel all the time and, you know, you deal with it a little bit then, but you're never freaking gone 2 months at a time, 4 months, 6 months. You know, I'm over 60 days into this right now, almost 70, and I've got to see my fiance once, and that was awesome, but that almost made it worse. I mean, I'm not regretting it in the least bit. Wish she could come right now, you know, see her for a couple more days. But it does make it worse, because then it's like you have it and then you don't have it again. But, you know, we're so in love and getting married in October, and you know, I waited my whole life for this. This is my destiny. I mean, sometimes you just know, and I knew pretty dang quickly with her and her with me. It's you know, destiny. So it's rough right now, and I start thinking, it's like, man, you know, I'm dealing with pain in my feet. It's pretty much been constant for the last week and a half. It gets better when I rest it, and then, you know, it comes back. It's not an injury, it's just pain. And it's because there's a lot more rocks. It's nothing I can't deal with. Heck, I dealt with a fractured spine last year. Walked over 18 days or something on a fractured spine. I think I could deal with some foot pain. Now, I'm just saying, though, it's like I deal with pains and aches every day. It's somewhere. There's always something aching and pain. I mean, I deal with that all the time. It is what it is. I can deal with all of that, I'm saying. That's just physical uncomfortableness. But this homesickness thing, that's rough. It feels like your heart is out of your chest and dancing around somewhere, and you got to go find your heart. And it's rough for sure. So before I went and got that food, I was definitely thinking, man, doing half this trail isn't that bad. I could just go home, be with my baby, and eat some real food, and be with her, and come back and do this other half some other day. The things that go through your head. And I'm gonna tell you right now, even without the homesickness, you contemplate quitting several times when you're doing something like this. You have nothing to do but freaking think. So you think all the time, and the brain is kind of in control what it wants to think about, and so forth and so on. So anyway, I don't want to go on too much here, just rambling on, but I know you all want to hear what's on my mind too, so, in my heart. So the homesickness is the biggest by far battle I have in my head. And I waited my whole life to be with her, and you look at it from the future and back, like this is just a speck in the life that we're gonna have together. But right now, it's rough. It's real rough. But I feel much better after I ate. It's just, it's amazing how much when you need food, you can go down even a darker hole. And I'm not saying it's a dark hole to be going home, because it's not. I might make up my mind tomorrow that I'm going home. I might decide in a week I'm going home. I might finish the trail. Who knows? All I know is it's a day-by-day journey. Anyone who knows me knows I don't have rules. I just live life. And what I feel needs to happen is what I do. I plan on finishing this trail and then going home to my soon-to-be wife and marrying her. And then going on our honeymoon to wherever we want to go. Which we know where we're going. I'm just not telling you all yet. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. It's not just physical pain. It's not just being tired. It's not just being hungry. There's other things which actually are a little tougher for me, because I waited 47 years to find my destiny. And then I find her, and here I am on a thru-hike, which that's always going to be. It's who I am. I'm a hiker and adventurist. I don't know that it's necessarily going to be 4 or 5 months at a time. I'm thinking not. After the CDT, I'm thinking that's not going to happen very often at all. I mean, I will obviously thru-hike and hike, but not months on end. This one was already planned in the books, and CDT is in, it's planned. but it's not in the books yet as far as when I'm doing it and so forth. So that's going to be figured out. Anyway, I'm just rambling and rambling. I just basically, in a nutshell, was saying things get rough sometimes. And it's not the first time that I've contemplated quitting, if you want to call it that, which it wouldn't be quitting, it'd be postponing. It definitely won't be the last time, because I remember on the PCT, it was like a daily thing there for a while. I still ended up going 118 days, going as far as I can. It's just something your brain battles with you on. It's a constant mind battle out here, more so than the physical part. So anyway, thank you all for listening. I love my future bride with everything in me, and there's worse things. There's definitely worse things to give up on a through hike for. I still plan on finishing. She plans on me finishing, and we plan on having the greatest homecoming ever when I'm all done. And of course, visiting in between. Anyway, so that's some of the struggles that goes on out here, and that might have been my longest rant ever on YouTube. So thank you all for listening, and feel much better after the food. But there's my heart out on the table for you. Some of the struggles that goes on out here on the Appalachian Trail. Here's a little bit of a view, although obstructed by power lines. And up here is just the woods and forest. That's the direction I'm walking. But you kind of see down in the valleys on both sides. Getting real close to Harper's Ferry, getting real close to where I'm camping tonight, getting real close to the West Virginia border, and the beginning of the 4-state challenge. Woo! There it is. The West Virginia border, where I start my 4-state challenge tomorrow. I am getting excited. But first I need to sleep. And I'm not going to cross this tree until tomorrow, so I don't put it in the bag too early. All right. Wish me luck, y'all. See you tomorrow morning.